start giving me some good big deal.
Go ahead. Sorry. First question.
Okay.
How now, brown cow? Where's the teleprompter? Is there a teleprompter? There's no teleprompter?
Who hired him? Who said yes?
Whose idea was this?
Yeah. Okay.
San Diego.
Hi, my name is Pennie Carroll, owner, broker, real estate agent at Pennie Carroll and Associates, and with me, cannot believe it, I'm so excited, Eric Vanderploeg. Do I say plug right?
Plug.
Plug.
Close enough though. I've been
Eric
called way worse.
Like 2 O's.
Ooh, like
Just
ooh.
Plug.
Ooh.
That's how I've been saying it all these years. So,
And with me is Eric Vanderploeg, no stranger to the home construction business, kind of new to our team,
Yes.
but we sold a lot of your homes.
Yeah, definitely. I just didn't have any choice in the matter but to join the team here because they
You
all
twisted your
kept,
arm.
yes, yeah. You're very convincing. So
So, what I'd like to know, you wear a hat all the time,
I do.
but it's not always the same hat.
It-
You're builder, dad, race car driver, all of that. How are you doing?
Yes, awesome. Busy would probably be a good way to describe it. I
Yeah.
think that would sum it up right now. So
The largest hat that you wear is Eagle Homes.
I believe so. Yeah.
And tell us, how did you get into the home building process?
Well, my grandfather actually was a home builder in the Altoona area. He was a developer and home builder, so I grew up on the job sites with him, and definitely learned a lot. Got to spend a lot of hours with him and kind of see and do emulate what he
And
did
his
with
name?
life. Ron Stubbs.
Ron Stubbs.
Yep.
Everybody knows Ron Stubbs. You can walk into a house, as I'm selling homes in the Altoona market, and he branched into Pleasant Hill and some other areas too. But if I walk in and there is a archway with some columns, or you probably know the right names for these, the baluster and on the stair rail.
Yeah, and your no posts. Yeah.
Yes,
So-
if those are chunky and don't move,
Yeah.
it's built by Ron Stubbs.
Absolutely. That's one thing that he did pass on to me was his love of trim work. And I know it's a little bit of a dying art right now. I've been fortunate to have some really good trim carpenters, friends of mine as well, that do great work. And so we're still trying to stay strong in that department and put those finishes.
If someone wanted to see your home, I mean, I know you're maybe short on inventory now, but if somebody wants to see your home and what you build, what's the best way to go about that?
Well, definitely get with a real estate agent. That's one thing. As a real estate agent myself, I've seen the advantages to that. Obviously, with a great team here, and we try to put up a few spec houses every now and again. Thanks to the team, we've been going through those
Sell them out.
quite quickly. So so right now we're caught at a time we don't have anything to show because they keep selling. But yeah, when we do have a spec home, then to actually go through and actually see and feel what we got going on.
Let's say someone is out there and they're like, yeah, we want to build a home. Where do they even start? I know you said talk to a real estate professional, but let's say they've teamed up with us. Now what? What do we need to do?
Well, identifying where you want to be, because it is quite difficult to pick up a house and move it. So
that's for sure.
I think right now it is hard to find dirt. So finding areas that there's some good lots in, identifying that area, and then kind of starting the design and drafting process.
So if they find that lot, generally do you buy the lot and then that becomes all together with the home and the lot?
Yeah, there's a few different routes of going that. There's where the buyers can actually have their own construction loan, and then every month we take a draw from that to continue the process from there. Also, we do try to get some of those premier lots that we can find, snag those up. So those will be run through my own construction loan. So there's lots of different avenues that we can go as far as the financing side goes.
Then you talked about the floor plan and drafting, and when you said drafting, it reminded me that like PCA, we're a family-owned, run company. If people aren't part of our family on our team, we try to make them feel like family. But you also, when you say the word drafting, I think of your dad.
Absolutely. Me and my entire family, this really is a family small business. I mentioned my grandfather, and I grew up in the business that way. But yeah, my dad worked as a framer for about 30 years or so, and that translated into him doing design and drafting, which has been a huge part of my custom in the custom home building, where we can literally start from scratch and design up whatever the client is needing. Beyond that, my wife is very involved. My mom's very involved as far as helping with selections, the book side of things, and all that. And you might even have a chance to see one of my kids out there working. Out there helping us on the job site too.
Do they, do you see either any three of those children getting involved in the business? Does anyone have the temperament or the personality for that, do you think?
You know, my daughter has said she's not sure if the self-employed thing's cut out for her. So,
Right.
I've got my couple of boys that we'll see where that all translates. I've got one that tends to work a little harder than the other, so time will tell what happens there. But we won't name who's who on that.
They can just guess.
Yes.
So the one thing that people are always asking about, or that we're always hearing about in the news, is product availability.
Yes.
Supply and demand. How real is that? Because we hear nationally, and sometimes the Midwest, we're a little conservative, so we don't follow those. But how is that impacting your building process?
Yeah, these are very unique times as far as I think that planning ahead is very important. I think that it's something with any builder that you got to look at their processes, and that's one thing I try to be very well organized about. In custom home building, that's really tricky because all of the selections are left up to the homeowners, and so we can't buy stuff ahead necessarily. So we are kind of one-off doing this. So with that being said, planning ahead is great, but supply has been a challenge. I think that at least what I've seen is that supply chains in some areas are catching up. But I think the bigger thing is that people are just getting a little more used to the timelines, and we're just having to restructure and change how we're going about things.
So we've sold some customs for you, we've sold some specs for you, and I think the one thing that's one of the many things that stand out to me about how you set yourself apart, your subs that you use, your contractors that you use, they are loyal.
Absolutely.
And they've been with you for a long time.
Yeah, that's one thing I learned from my grandfather is that when you find somebody that's good at what they do, and that's the value that I bring as a builder is that quality control. And so we try to use a consistent batch of the same subcontractors that we know and are familiar with, and that streamlines the process, even communication on the job site.
Right.
To where each sub is working hand in hand with another sub. They know my expectations, and that's something we can kind of do to quality control. And
something else that might seem little, but I think it's kind of huge when I'm showing homes, you keep a clean job site.
Yes.
I don't have to worry about walking in and it looking a mess, because I know it will be cleaned up, but our clients don't know that, and they don't want to see that.
Right. Well, that's what one thing about it. I don't feel like the job's done until it's cleaned up.
Right.
So we encourage the homeowners to stop by the job site, check things out as they go, and we want to put show our effort that we do care about the quality of the project. And so I've been blessed to have a great project manager right now who has been doing an awesome job keeping tabs on that. But also a great group of subcontractors that help us out in that department too.
One more question that people may have: how far out do you go? And if they want to build, does it need to be right in the Des Moines Metro and the suburbs around, or how far will you go to build an Eagle home?
Yeah, that's a good question. How big a house are we talking? Generally speaking, I think safe to say we've done some work out in Grinnell, and so about an hour out is probably about within our sphere of influence there.
Right.
Just there's something to be said for staying centralized, but safe to say within an hour of the Des Moines
and
metro
keeping
area.
track of the job site and your contractor's time.
Yes.
And so that does make a difference there. And then you have a development that you've kind of done a few homes in Prairie City as well.
Yeah, that town is a little hidden gem, I think. Who knew that Prairie City was going to be hopping like it is? But we've been really fortunate in a town that doesn't pull a lot of new construction building permits. We've been pulling several of them here lately, and looking into the future, there's several more opportunities. So It's been a good little town.
Eagle Homes, don't forget that name. It's on his hat. He wears his hat almost all the time. But Eagle Homes has been around for a long time. He comes with a rich history of working like his grandfather, Ron Stubbs, and I love that it's a family business. We've sold many homes for you, Eric, and you've done a great job, and we feel very blessed and excited to have a part of our team. And no matter what anyone else says, you're a great guy.
All right.
So anyway, Pennie Carroll Associates, and with me was
Eric Vanderploeg. Thank you.
Yep.